Blockchain has a very high ratio of noisemakers to signal ratio, right? Like I would say most of the people in this ecosystem are very, very, very good noise generators, like incredibly good noise generators. It's, if you were to apply like a compression mechanism, you could have like a 3 or 4 orders of magnitude of compression. I hope you understand what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the level of noise generation these guys do. So what has actually happened is like certain things work reasonably well, but if it aligns to certain other incentives other people have, then it becomes very weird and very bizarre. So example, radical exchange, right? Radical exchange is like intersection or quadratic voting meeting some other crap, and it has taken its own life. I mean, like it created its own life. uh, you know Mechanism design has been around for a while, and different methods have been proposed, and different people have been involved in this. It's just that certain cases, certain mechanisms are better than others, right? It's quite trivial. Like there are lots of ways in which we normally make decisions. Sometimes you can toss a coin. It is very useful to just toss a coin to sometimes make decisions, but at times it's completely not a good idea to toss a coin, right?
Right.
So if you were to cross a road, you would never toss a coin and cross a road, right? You would look left and right before you cross the road or look at the traffic lights. So that's that's what I literally mean. Blockchain has this concept that if you learn how to toss a coin, everything that you see, you toss a coin. And to me, quadratic voting is one such toss a coin methodology. There are different things for which different tools are useful. Don't ever use one tool for everything. Once you actually have a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Right.
And this is like a massive problem in blockchain. So I'm kind of hesitant to go into that kind of a mode. I am more interested in seeing what is there and find the tool that actually works. If I don't have the tool, go find the person who has the tool. So that's my approach to solving this kind of problems.
Um, I've been thinking about this question for a while. It's not something directly related to anything you just said, although it might be, and not directly related to Panther. But I just keep wondering, how much weight should we put to the esteem that we put towards the people working in a blockchain project when we are trying to decide upon the blockchain project? And I mean esteem as in we think they're smart, we think they're kind, we think they have the good intentions.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to say, and this is going to be slightly controversial. So, a few years back, I was in Toronto, and I was in a event organized by Ripple, because at the point in time I was an advisor at Ripple. So they invited me. I was sat down with Stefan Thomas, the CTO, and he was talking to me about Ripple's adoption. I said to him, "Look, all blockchains are like religions. There is a delayed gratification. If a developer needs to adopt a blockchain, he or she has to put in effort with the hope that in the afterlife that they will be rewarded." Okay. And what is happening is you have a bunch of prophets and apostles, right? And unfortunately, this creation of, I mean, in a way, if you think about blockchains, the reason blockchains have succeeded is just because that humans have belief systems. So if you haven't actually read Yuval Harari's *Sapiens*, you should read it, because it's one of the key things that you should recognize is the fact that humans have this abstract concept of belief systems, and these belief systems drive people to do crazy shit. And blockchain is one such crazy shit. And because of human nature, we have, prophets and apostles. And what you described there is creation of prophets and apostles. And sometimes you find out in hindsight, these prophets are complete and utter frauds. This is what is true of, religions in the past so many hundred years. And, same is true of apostles as well, right? So that is true of blockchain as well. As I said, what really is being measured, mostly in the case of prophets and apostles, is their ability to communicate and to signal, not their ability to do what they have to do. Because what they do is the magic. And very few people have the ability to review magic. Remember, I was telling you the paper I wrote and why the paper was it was, right? I don't know if you've actually read all this stories about old, in Egypt, apparently, there is this magic they actually did, which is essentially there's an altar, and when the priest actually lights the altar, the air expands, it pumps out water and opens the door. That's magic.
Yeah.
Okay, its magic is hidden. Only the people who build it will actually know it's there. Even the priest wouldn't even know, except the fact that he trusts. This is a very interesting construct. He trusts the person who builds it. So in blockchain sits on layers and layers of things. So to me, there's an arbitrary precision number theoretical library that's set on the bottom. Then there's cryptography there, and then there is EVMs and other things. And what mostly blockchain is like the layer where EVM touches everything else. They're still believing on the artisans who actually build multi-precision, arbitrary multi-precision libraries and cryptographic libraries on top of it, right? And they're doing magic. So in my mind, this is the pattern that you've seen from prehistoric times till now, from ancient Egypt till now. You have prophets and priests who actually are doing information arbitrage. And unfortunately, it doesn't always work in the best interest of society.
If you take a look at the way we operate and we act around blockchains, I mean, wouldn't it be for the financial part of it? You would think they're effectively religions, right? Like you go on Reddit and everyone has their religion, and the ones in this religion, in this religious cult, get along with the guys in this other one, but the ones in this other one think they're the other ones in the other side are all fake. And
Yeah,
there are some
absolutely.
scary,
Yeah,
consequences
yeah.
to that.
I mean, I can probably, say this, like there has been an ongoing debate between a bunch of people who believe in a slightly different way of doing token engineering, and I call it applied cryptoeconomics, right? It's like cryptoeconomics is a science. You apply it, that's whatever it is, and they call it token engineering. And, as I said, I've been doing this far too long, and I've kind of volunteered to help anybody I knew. And I have this, difference of opinion with a certain set of people. And what has become very apparent to me is like, I really don't give a whatever about, what other people think. If you really don't understand cryptography and you clearly don't understand economics, and you say to me, okay, I really don't understand A and I really don't understand B, but I think I know where A meets D. I'm going, okay, you don't understand both, but the intersection of both, which implies you should know both, you think you are an expert. It beats me. I think the probability that you just created is a new style of math. And this is a new paradigm in blockchain. You have a lot of people whose existence is antithetical to the principles of mathematics.
And I'm just thinking that that's a very deep thing to think about, especially when we're just talking about the ratio of noise to signal when it comes to the people in blockchain.
Yeah.
Isn't there where stuff like quadratic voting does us a lot of good?